Hey everyone, this is Andre here with another Wings Mobile Detailing podcast, talking on the business of mobile detailing, the mobile detailing industry. Today I'm going to cover and go over the expenses that you should expect to incur as if you're starting now your new mobile detailing business, or you're planning on acquiring a mobile detailing business, starting this business, investing on a business to grow big. Everyone can start a mobile detailing business just like real estate agents. It's very easy to get into. It doesn't require a lot of capital initially, right? A lot of businesses are around $200,000, $300,000. With detailing, it doesn't even get close to $100,000 to start, not even close. So everybody can get in the business, but it is different. To getting into business is different than growing a business and succeeding an actual corporation. If you're planning on growing a business with a fleet of vehicles and managing an employee, not only being self-employed, having one guy, one helper, and you're not invested into growing, then maybe this episode is not for you. Now, if you're looking into getting into the automotive industry, starting this business with intentions to grow big as a big business, then please listen. I'm going to go over the expenses you're going to encounter as you grow the business. These expenses, you're not going to have much if you're just yourself first year and you're not looking to grow. However, you will have them if you're looking to grow. Stay with the intro.
Welcome to the Wings Mobile Detailing Business and Automotive Podcast, the only podcast that will guide you on how to start and grow six-figure companies. As our team expand from one business location to worldwide domination, you will get step-by-step insights from a millennial franchisor and franchise owner with your host, Andre Mezzalera.
It is your first year in business. You have your equipments, which you're most likely you financed your van. If it's a mobile detailing, you have a Ford Transit, ProMaster, whatever van it is that can cost around $30,000 if it's new. And you put a down payment for $2,000. You're perhaps financing. You buy your products and equipments for a small amount of $4,000 or less to buy everything. And you create a website, right? You don't optimize a website because initially you're not too invested. But if you're invested in growing the business, you need more than just a website. You need a well-optimized website. SEO, search engine optimizations for the website. So if you're looking to grow, you need to have it invested on there. You need a marketing team as well. You need to make sure to have a team in marketing that will go over on all mediums, perhaps even write press releases for the business. And all these things cost money, right? It doesn't cost money if you're thinking of solopreneur, just yourself. But as you're growing, you need these things. And the sooner you get these things, the more you grow. And it's certain things that I'm going to talk about is required for growth, right? Now, one of these things is the website optimizing, having a good company, a good place that you can have your website optimized. And for that, creation of websites and ongoing optimization of the website, you're looking for more than $10,000 to spend, right? And if you're one of the guys who is thinking, that's crazy, I spent $1,000 to get my website, everything created, right? And you're listening to this, then most likely you're small thinking. You're thinking you're one of those detailers who are just self-employed. You're not looking to grow. You're not looking at your business as an actual business, right? It's more of a solopreneur type of work. You're not in business. For you to be in business, it's not just you having a business license. And that's okay. If that's you, that's okay. I'm not trashing you for that. Each one has their own opinion. But if you're looking for growth, you are going to invest money just like any other company, any other industry. Another thing is marketing, right? It's different than you yourself. You can spend almost nothing if you don't want to grow your business in marketing, and you just post videos here and there on Instagram, Every now and then you go on YouTube. You don't have a system. You don't do it as often because you're, detailing cars. That's what you worry about. But you're growing your business, you need to invest in marketing. I'm not talking about investing in pay-per-click ads, which you do need to do. You need to put investments on monthly pay-per-clicks as well. But here, when I talk about investing in marketing, is the marketing team perhaps. Or you create a system that you can handle all mediums, all social medias as well. Writing press release, blogs, ongoing blogs on the website. Just for writing blogs, you need a team for that. You're going to spend money on the marketing team, right? And that will cost you. That will cost a full-time employee to take care of writing blogs, posting on social media, meaning Instagram, Facebook groups as well. That's always required for you to put your name out there enough to where you're going to grow your business to a big business, right? And from the website that you spend over $10,000, at least $10,000 with a well-optimized website, and that's yearly basis, and also a team you're going to have to think about more on, because we're thinking corporation now. So a salary for, let's say, a marketing team, an entire team, we're probably looking at the salary of $60,000, $70,000 a year, right? And you need those things set up, right? You need to grow. Aside from that as well, what you're looking for here is somebody to take phone calls, right? To answer phone calls, invoice clients, customer service. You need a top-notch customer service guy that's going to answer and book the appointments for all of those people that are calling in your business, right? And that's another salary, right? You need to pay money. You need employee for that as well to take care of that for you. And that's another yearly salary, right, for that as well. So here's what you're expecting, and that person will take all the incoming calls and perhaps even sell as well. So that same person can also, at the beginning at least, be the sales guy for you as well. Make cold calls to acquire more clients, call dealerships, all that it entails for you to grow a big business. And then in the future, you're going to have each team, one team calling for sales and the other team for scheduling appointments, the other team even for invoicing your clients, right? And those are what you need. That's outside of the detailing, outside of the front line of the business, which is actual technicians to detail cars, right? Because that's the service you're providing. Trainers, right? The detailers, the trainers of detailers, the supervisor of your detailers, right? Those are all just employees that you're gonna have on the side. That person can be you, right? The detailer, you're starting your business, perhaps the detailer is you're doing those services, right? But if you're growing, then that's aside. Now we're just covering the business sector of the business, right? We're just covering that. And only that is all these as well. It's the assistant, the sales team, the marketing team, the website creation as well, documents, subscriptions, small subscriptions that you need to send out to your new employees. So if I have employee candidates, you need software to use as well, right? That's a must. That you need software regardless if you're big or small business. By software, I mean CRM systems, and that. Email marketing is another thing. You need systems for that to send email marketing to really get the brand out there, but also that's where you're going to get your clients from. And I guess that's where most people don't understand. A lot of people who get into detailing, unless you have a mentality of business, of growing actual business, right? Because this industry is filled with people who does not have experience, who never even get education on growing a business, right? Perhaps are not professionals. So they're, I guess, in every industry, but since this industry is easier to get started, there are more people like that, inexperienced people who, I'm not talking about that does not have years of experience, because there are a lot of inexperienced people who's been in business for 15 years, right? But those people who doesn't read books, who doesn't go after, who doesn't invest, who doesn't know the importance of investing on a sales team, and understanding that it takes time to grow. So that is something that is unexpected. When you're growing a big business, you should expect expenses of just the things that I mentioned to you. Only for the things I mentioned to you, yearly, you're already close to $200,000 a year of expenses every year, right? Just for the things like the small things I mentioned to you. That's expenses. And when you're growing a business on your first year, you are going to have a good return on your investment because you're not going to have much expenses, right? With these expenses mentioned are not going to be on your first year in business if you're starting, let's say, if we're starting step by step. But you're preparing on your first year, you're preparing to grow as much as you can so that you can then, in the right time, start investing on these things for you to grow your business. Right? And then obviously your time, on this, I'm not even talking about your time of going to networking with people, guerrilla marketing, right? Going after the sales. The guerrilla marketing is when you're face to face, right? Your time of going out there doesn't even count that. So those are things as well that you ought to consider. And on your first year, you're going to have more money in your pocket because you're not going to have much of these expenses mentioned. And a lot of people, I guess, that are listening to this podcast is asking the why question, right? Or the how, actually. The how question. How to get there, So does that mean that you have to really start with money, right? I mean, you don't necessarily have to start with a lot of money. As I said, to start a business, it costs less than... Obviously, you need some money, right? But if you start off with zero money, you can still start. But it's going to take you much longer to reach that, And how do you reach that? You go step by step. Whatever you're doing is probably the right thing. And add to whatever you're doing, add reading to it, add education. Because I can sit here and say, hey, what you're doing is step by step. You're saving money, you're not overspending, you're then slowly investing back into your business, but you're not reading books, you're not educating yourself. Then it's going to take a lot longer for you. And it's hard for me to be practical in this part and to tell you why. When you don't read, it's going to take more time, but it's just reality. Right? If you don't get education, you're never going to have an open-minded on how to grow a business. Now, the second part on how to do this as well is obviously I'm going to mention is leveraging. Use of leverage of existing companies, right? Of companies who already have all the systems in place, implemented. All this money that you spend yearly, if you leverage from a company that already have all that, you're most likely going to be growing just as big as if you're having all these systems. But not only that, but if you leverage, you're going to spend a lot less money. And by leverage, I mean, obviously, I'm going to bring it up, the franchising. So, for an example, if you franchise with Wings Mobile Detailing, you're definitely going to have all the systems in place, the marketing team, the website, even the app, right? You have an application for the clients. All of that comes at the charge that you would pay for a franchise fee is nowhere near what you're going to pay if you were to go yourself. And not only that, you would have 10 times more the return on your investment compared to going by yourself. Because going by yourself and growing slowly, waiting for that time to come, will make you make a lot of mistakes. And so with leveraging from a company, everything is ready. Like Wings franchise, the Wings franchise is not spending additional money, right? That's why they don't have to charge you all that extra. Even the executive assistant for scheduling clients. So in this case, leveraging is the best way to grow a business. Leveraging is the best way, taking equity from an existing company. Now, because why would you reinvent the wheel, right? That's how people grow. That's how people the rich get rich because they actually leverage from an existing. They don't try to go and reinvent the wheel, right? They just leverage and from others and work in the community. So that's the best. That's the best way. Even the executive assistant, as I was mentioning, would be that. Now, another thing that you take into account for yourself is when you're growing the business and you have employees, you have all the systems in place, either because you leverage from franchise that is already implemented, or because you did it yourself. You have all the systems in place you should have, and then you're looking into buying more vans, right? You have to take into account insurance, car payments if you buy another van. And very important thing, guys, if you're in the process of growing a big business yourself like this, right? Let's say you're going solo and you're on your first year and you realize, I make this amount of money on my first year because I have one van and I have 2 employees. And then you think that, okay, I will invest in another van, have another expense, and then I'm going to have twice as much money, right? And I'm going to have 3 times as much money. But you have to consider that when you have 2 or 3 or 4 vans, you also have to hire twice as many people in the back end for marketing, to maintain those vans, fill up with clients, with expenses. So you're going to have 2 or 3 times more expenses with hiring a person to answer the phone call for you, right? Because you're not going to be able to be doing all that with 3 or 4 vans, because you're going to be worried about supervising those teams, making sure they're providing the best service. So a huge mistake that people think is, in the first year in business, they're making a certain amount of money with one van. They think it's going to double when they get 2, triple when they get 3 vans. And they don't consider the extra expenses, right? So that is definitely something to think about before you grow. And with that, you're going to realize the amount of time that it's going to take. It's going to be more than you actually thought it would be. This business is exciting. Business of detailing, you're managing a fleet of vehicles that goes in and out, either if you have a warehouse or you keep the van at your employee's place. But it's a very exciting business because it's a simple, low overhead type of business. But it doesn't matter. You still need control. And if you're going yourself, you have to calculate those things. If you have a bigger sale as well, 3 or 4 vans going out, you also need accountant, right? I didn't even talk to you about accountant. So you also need that because you're going to have bigger sale. You're going to need more control, more software to track your vans. All of those small things is going to count to your expenses. More people answering the phone calls, the billing part, people getting the payments from clients. Right, you're going to need all those systems. And if you're doing it yourself, you have to consider that. If you're leveraging from us, you don't have necessarily to worry about those expenses, because Wings Mobile Detailing Franchise, the great thing about it is that we're doing it for you. We're following up with invoices. All you worry about is going out and providing the best service you can and supervising your fleet and your team, and worry about hiring more people to surpass the demand. And the money that you would spend anyways, if you were to do it yourself, you just spend from leveraging from a system that's going to be all implemented for you and doing it for you. A lot of the aspects, a lot of the sectors of your business. That's what I can think about now, guys, is it's okay to either you think, I'm going to grow small, have my 1 van or my 2 van team, not have a lot of stress, right? Or you're one of the guys who are like, I'm doing it myself. I'm going to grow to 3 or 4 vans myself, and you're going to have a lot of stress with employee turnover, hiring people and all that. Or you can go grow big, still with no stress, which is, I think, is the way. In this way, it's through the leverage of a franchise, for example. Guys, check it out. If you have any questions, follow me on Instagram account. We are in different states. We're servicing multiple cities right now. And check out franchise.wingsmobiledetailing.com. And if you have any questions for your business, specifically for your business, we're here to answer it for you. Thank you.